Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, just making sure everything's working out fine. Yeah, there we go. So I can see the stream is actually live here on Twitch, that's fantastic. Now we do have two of you in chat already, so hello there, Pinocchio? I don't know how you pronounce your name, I can only apologise. And hello there, Grey Knight, my lovely, loyal Grey Knight. Been seeing you on a few occasions here, so it's pretty awesome. Really do appreciate that. Does actually mean a lot to see these old names coming back. Time and time again. Definitely means a lot to have that support there. So I do hope you guys are doing well. And yeah, we'll be able to get the stream properly started in about, what, like 9 minutes? 9 or 10 minutes. See, my phone says 10 minutes, my computer says 9 minutes. I don't know which one to trust. Indeed. So, I'm actually still quite enjoying the actual new mods here. They are really quite nice. We did make some absolutely fantastic progress, and yeah, we're definitely ahead of schedule here. Hello there, unknown, how you doing there, my friend? Right, there we go. I'm going to go ahead and share the link here to the stream. Hold on 2 seconds there, guys. There we go. Awesome. There we go. Hello there, Dead Meat. Blue Belt, League Mega Pro. That's a great name, I like that one. How you doing there, Lanza? Another fine name there to see again. Right, I mean, my god. I'm not entirely sure how we need to take advantage of the situation. I suppose the obvious point is going to be the fact that, well, we did make some massively good progress over here in the north. Now, we currently hold on to a Zero Mini over here in the north. It's going to be interesting to see how we can make the best use of that position. Currently, the enemy opposition here on the other side of this river is not too particularly heavy, but we'll have to see what we can do there. And we do currently have some fairly decent force. I really do like these characters. You know what? They've really bloody grown on me. It's just, I don't know, I really like them. I think they really are very immersive. Hello there, Justin. How you doing there, my friend? Are you doing well? That's awesome. See, this is the, see, this is a difficult part here. Now, due to the fact that the stream starts in a couple of minutes, it's like I really want to get raring to go. And we're already talking about things that we'll end up having to go back over. But, hey, gotta wait, haven't we? But it's always a good time. We can always take a look at this, answer a few questions, and get to know each other a little bit better. Now, does anybody have any questions about War in the West, War in the East, or even War in the Pacific you'd like to ask? I'll try my bloody well best to answer them. And, yeah, hopefully we can all learn something together then. Now, I do actually have the War in the West manual to my left, the big hardback version. Absolutely fantastic product there. I mean, I really like it. I've been through it a odd couple times, but man, it definitely does make a nice little extra on your bookshelf. And then to my right, I've got the War in the Pacific manual. Then I have around here somewhere the War in the East manual. Oh, excuse me. They do come in very handy. I mean, especially the War in the Pacific one. It does help to clear up some interesting things every now and then. Oh yeah, I mean, this is it. It's like, I can remember when I was younger, oh god, I absolutely loved reading the manual. Whatever game I'd bought, I'd spend absolutely just so long going through the actual manual. Like, whether I'd be on the bus, whether I'd be, like, in the car, or on whatever, you'd always read the manual, and that was always fantastic. I think it really got you excited about the game before you even played it. At least that's how I felt about it. Hello there, Fluffy Bunny. Ah, man, that's going to be awesome. But hello there, Jackalers. I can remember picking up Medieval 2 Total War when that first came out. And they used, I'm sure there was like a big fold-out poster. And it had all the like different technologies, like all the different buildings, all the different units. I'm sure it did. I think there was one for Supreme Commander as well. Now, Supreme Commander is a fantastic game. Like, that's one of my favourite RTSs ever. That's just so goddamn good. And I always really liked the Cybran. Like, they were always cool. But I did like the United Earth Federation's Navy. That was awesome. But I mean, it's hard to argue with Cybran when they have, like, freaking walking battleships. It's like, yeah, you can't argue with that. It's like, mate, you might have a battleship, or you might have a submersible aircraft carrier, but you ain't got crap on my battleship that can walk over there and slap you. I might play that, actually, some point soon this week. I really do miss that game. Yep, so that's a little bit of a tangent. I mean, these are the tangents that we must go through here. Yeah, they're just awesome, aren't they? See, I did really like Supreme Commander 2. It was definitely a different game than Supreme Commander 1. But it did come out on the console, so I can remember playing the hell out of that on the console. I mean, it was just fantastic to play that. I think they really toned things down to a degree. It's like they could have gone further than they did, but I don't know. I think they just didn't put the same funding in there, or gave it the amount of time it needed. Yeah, definitely great games. Definitely great games. I mean, Distant Worlds Universe is probably one of my other favourites out there. That game is fantastic. Definitely can't wait for Distant Worlds Universe 2 whenever that does drop. Honestly, can't wait. I suppose I'm in a privileged position of the fact that I'll find out when it does drop earlier than most people. But man, that just makes me more excited. Okay, I think we'll actually begin the stream. When we do begin in a few minutes, what we'll do is probably go over our units here on the back. Try to arrange them. Now, the interesting thing is, obviously, we do have a lot of our aircraft down here. We did lose a lot of them to the AI, actually sending them to bloody Romania and Germany, which is all well and good. It does help to impede the enemy, but it doesn't do particularly much for us when we're here in Italy at the moment. Okay. I mean, we've really pushed into a very interesting location here. I mean, to the right over here along the coast, we are now really... It's an interesting situation. It's like, for example, we do have clear terrain over here, and then that clear terrain will expand to a certain degree, obviously towards Ravenna and Forli. But then, as you can see here, just on the outskirts of Bologna, well, to the east of Bologna, you can see that there is some swamp here and some river. So he does definitely have the potential here to dig in. But yeah, it's going to be a difficult one trying to actually make our way from Rimini potentially towards like Florence. Due to the nature of the terrain here, there's a lot of there's a big mix of mountains here and rough terrain, so it's going to be a very intriguing one. And of course, the rivers do not help. We do need to be very mindful of rivers, otherwise the enemy can definitely hold us back. Hello there, Van Bishop, how you doing, my friend? Right then, only a minute here until we can begin in earnest. Cannot wait. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gary Grisby's War in the West as we continue here today in the Operation, well, I suppose somewhat resembling Diadem to the Gothic line, but I suppose things have rather escalated from that point, haven't they? We've made some extremely good progress in the 10 turns that we've had here. It's actually been rather exciting, but yep, can't wait to get going. So I was just saying to the stream before we started here that we'll take a look here at the headquarters and the second line, and just really try to reorganize things to a better degree. Now, of course, we do need to catch up here with the rail lines. We've actually made such good progress that we're actually starting to outpace our own men here. So that's something that we do need to take a good look at. So as you can see, we do have a solid line up here of the north from Roma up here, but of course we do not have anything on the coastline, so it is a interesting situation to say the least. Now, if I go ahead and take a look at the element here of the 2nd New Zealand Mixed Infantry Division, we'll try and get an idea of what the supply situation is looking like on the ground here. So if I take a look over here then, so what we're looking at. Now we do have the supply required. The fuel is obviously not sufficient. It's there. It's obviously not what they desire. It's underneath the actual quantity they desire, but not bad. I mean, everything else we're doing well. Ammunition is doing particularly well here. I can see here they are still drawing their supply from Rome. Now that's 12 hexes away. It costs about 15 MP. Yeah. Freight required, freight lost. So receive 19 tons of supply there. I'm going to say tons. Just units, tons, hundreds of tons. Whatever would probably make the most sense. I'm just going to say 19 tons just because it's probably easy to work in single units. I can see here 101 tons. 24 vehicles from the pool here. Some replacements. We did consume 30 tons of supply. Right. Okay. I can see that we did have some penalty here. Intriguing. No administration failures, but apparently there's penalty. I do wonder if that's coming from the headquarters itself being overburdened. Actually, it's underburdened, rather intriguing. Okay. So their headquarters is obviously quite distant from where they need it to be. So if we take a look at where our depots are. Yeah, I mean, this is the issue here. The rail lines cover all these areas here, so everything that is actually highlighted is actually covered by the rail lines. I don't imagine these would be due to the fact that we did destroy the Panzer Grenadiers over there. But yeah, this situation, it's manageable. I mean, we do have a port nearby where that supply will filter. I mean, supply will filter across here, but it means we are going to be expending more vehicles. But as you can see that, really we don't have depots to the north. We do have one over here at Ancona, but over to this side of Italy, to the west, we don't really have a depot close to the front line. Now, I might be able to set one up here at Grosseto. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do so. I do have a depot over here. I'm going to actually make that a level 4 priority. The issue is it's actually rather heavily damaged, so we are going to have to initiate priority repairs here. I think we'll do that in the other centers of supply as well, try and get things moving quickly. Now, I could create a depot here, but let's see. Do we have any other centers closer to the front lines? Perugia. I can't, but I'm going to actually repair, or at least attempt to initiate repairs of the rail yard and manpower. Orvieto. Orvieto? Not entirely sure how you pronounce it, but Orvieto. I could create a depot there. I do have Siena. Now, Siena is not currently able to house a depot. It may be due to the fact that it's only just been captured. But we'll have access to that soon. So I think what we'll do then is, in the meantime, we'll set up a depot over here then at Orvieto. Create that. Yep, there we go. Level 4 priority. We'll turn down the priority of these others. So make you a 2. Make Roma a 2 as well. There we go. Pescara. I mean, Pescara was really where our operations in the area did come from. I'm going to turn down the amount of supply priority here. There we go. Obviously, it's no longer required here in such great quantities. And we do have to supply the Air Force, but I don't think that's going to take anywhere near as much as is being sent here right now. There we go. I'll leave the port on level 3 priority. There we go. Well, actually, I could, I'd expand some of these other depots. Probably the best idea. Yeah, it would make the most sense, as then the supply will flow to the front. So we'll get rid of these other depots that we're not using right now. Then at least we're not supplying bases that don't actually need it. I think that does make the most amount of sense. There we go. As we should see further supply at the front lines now. We don't seem to have anybody here, but that's fine. There we go. So what do you guys think of the situation so far, then? What do you think we should do in the, well, in the context of the north? I mean, do we continue to advance north? Do we try to advance towards Milan? I mean, that is like the centre of the Italian production there. So, I mean, if we do hit them hard, it is going to leave a big old mark, isn't it? I'll need some depots in this area, but we'll see how the situation looks in terms of supply after these turns. I think they will be okay. But we'll see how it looks next turn in terms of their supply requirement. But I think they'll be okay, I'd imagine. I want the supply to actually flow to the front line, rather than getting caught up here. Now, there might be those of you who would be happy to know that should we actually complete the scenario before the end of the stream, we'll start another scenario and they have a good go through that one. I mean, you guys can even vote for the one you'd like to see, or like we'll discuss ones, and we can always try a different one. Obviously, assuming that we do finish this one earlier. We are looking pretty good for that, which is nice. Okay, let's see. Can I create any other additional depots here? No, I particularly want to. It might be handy though to have something else just to be supply across a wider area. Indeed. Okay. I think we need to reorganize where our units are. That'd be a good idea. Okay, so I do have some Italian forces over here. The Italian forces fight under our own command. The Liberation. As you can tell, my Italian is actually worse than my German. And my German is not good, so yeah, it's not a great position. But indeed, we do have an Italian force fighting for us here. They're not bad. We do have equipment, which is obviously going to come in quite handy. And at least having these extra bodies does definitely help us out to a good degree here. It always does come in handy to have extra men to hold the line. I mean, a 20,000 man unit is pretty decent. I mean, only 223 pieces of artillery, but that artillery isn't bad at all. I mean, we do have a number of, like, assault engineer squadrons, squads over here. But it's interesting to actually see Italian equipment. But, I mean, that's flamethrowers. We do, of course, then have rifles. 8mm machine guns, 45mm mortars, 3-inch mortars. I mean, it seems like a lot of the actual equipment here is mortars. We do have 20-25 pounder gun howitzers. Actually, rather interesting to see Italian forces using Commonwealth equipment. A fair number of actual howitzers, though, so not too bad, is it really? Yeah, exactly. I mean, what are we looking at here? 6.5mm? That's not one you often see. I mean, what is NATO standard, like 5mm odd, 5.5? And then obviously, like, rifle cartridges is normally, what, 7.6? Is it 7.6mm? So yeah, that's like in between. That's rather intriguing. But not too bad. I mean, the 149mm howitzers are quite nice. And again, Commonwealth. Commonwealth. I do wonder if they're entirely armed with Commonwealth artillery. I don't think I see anything that belongs to the indigenous Italian force here. That's rather intriguing. Yeah, okay. They might be entirely armed. So, yeah, that does make sense. Intriguing. Okay, so they're unassigned any support at the moment. They don't actually have anything there, but I don't think we need it too much. Now, I can't break this unit up, which is unfortunate. Which is interesting that 6.5mm is the new hotness today. The US Army is considering going to that to replace the 5.56. That's pretty awesome, and it does make sense. I mean, at the end of the day, a bigger cartridge is probably going to be needed now in the future. As I'd imagine, bodily protection is increasing in sophistication and availability. I mean, obviously the fact that I suppose it is getting lighter does make a big old difference. Now, if we take a look at the terrain here, we can see that we do have light woods, we do have rough terrain here. So this is only really worth pushing with like light forces, potentially just these actual brigades. Is this brigade or a... yeah, I'm going to say brigade. It's not a regiment, is it? Regiment's like 3,000 men. I think a brigade. I think this would be considered a brigade. But we'll have these brigades actually march up over here. Would these be considered regiments? You know what? I can't actually remember. Yeah, I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with regiments, perhaps. As you can see, I'm not very good when it actually comes to military organization. I suppose that my interest in the history is more so... I want to say the grand strategy. I do find economic history very interesting. I suppose I'm lean more to the... how to explain? How do I explain my interest in history? I'm not... Okay, I'll say it this way. So... the width of an ocean, but the depth of a puddle. So I suppose that's probably the best way to summarize it. Now, I'm hoping to actually enter education this year, so ideally I can actually make that puddle a little bit deeper. Hello there, Blobcar the dog. That's an awesome name. It's good to see you in stream. I think this might be the first time seeing you here, so welcome. But okay, rather than talking about it, let's get on with the show, man. So we do have our force freed up over here. They did obviously deal with the remaining Panzergrenadiers over there. So we'll have them move up. Okay. We need to really identify where we need the support. These forces are, for the most part, spent here. I do have this element of the 92nd Infantry Division over here. Now, I do have some capability to fight. We do still have a decent amount of oomph left in them. I do have the 6th British Armour Division over here as well. So we do actually have some oomph yet to push on here. The New Zealanders aren't quite able to move up. They do have some fight, but they're opposed by elements of the 2nd... well, of the Hammergun and Panzer Division, the 2nd element there, the 162nd Infantry Division, the 16th SS Panzergrenadier Division, and then what looks to be elements of Panzers. I don't know if they're all Panzers, but it looks as though there's definitely an element of Panzers over here. They aren't... I mean, Livorno is in a good position. But if they fall back to Pisa and we're unable to challenge them, it's going to be quite... I mean, this is going to be a really interesting area. I mean, what do we have here? So the terrain is... there's a little bit of rough here. That's going to be not great. I mean, this would be a good position for them to hold. They do have a river. They have a lot of their urban centres over here, so there's a lot of supply in this area. But should they entrench themselves within the cities over here? Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, obviously this one over here at 6. Yeah, they have 6 urban centres, like actual sizable urban centres. So we do obviously have to bear in mind that should the enemy dig in there, it is going to be somewhat difficult to dig them back out again. So we do obviously need to prevent the Axis forces from doing so. Okay, turn that priority down to 2. Obviously Ancona doesn't need it as much as Rimini will need it. So let's see what we can do here then, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as we can see here, the vast majority of our forces are, of course, drawing their supply from Rome. We do obviously want them to start drawing their supply from depots here towards the front line. I suppose it comes down to the fact that probably these other areas are fairly damaged. Thankfully, the port's not too important right now, but I'm going to repair it anyway. Yeah, the rail yard has been so heavily damaged isn't good. It does really impact on the amount of supply getting to the front, so we do need to repair these. Hello there, Warrior Donut, how you doing, my friend? Again, there's another name I don't often see in the stream, and it may in fact be the first time I've seen you here for one of mine. So I'd like to say a big welcome there. I do try to do my... well, I try my best to actually remember names. I think it's one of those things you can always do somebody the credit of remembering their name. There we go. Nothing particularly needed here to repair the manpower, but it does come in handy. If we have more manpower, it does help us with replacement, so can't argue with that one, really. I'm going to make sure that we repair all these centres with rail lines, however. I do want that rail... I need that freight being carried to the front line. You make all my streams. Whoops. I've shown myself up now, haven't I? No, it's familiar. I'll be a quiet guy. Okay. Hey, the lurker, still a viewer. I'm just glad I can provide entertainment to you guys. It is a massive honor to be here. I mean, this... it's really awesome being able to stream for Matrix and Slytherin. These guys are awesome, and they make some fantastic products. Okay, what we're going to do here then is I'm going to have a pop at them with the element of the 1st British Rifle Division. Let's see, what do I have that could potentially aid them? Okay. We'll move this division towards the actual, well, headquarters towards the coast here, if I can. Right, that's going to be about the best I can get here. You're either working on Wargame, and that sounds good, my friend. What do you actually play for a Wargame in? I have a question. The map covers whole continents, so the war theatre is unlimited. Well, yeah. I mean, like, basically, you can have the entirety of France. I mean, like, pretty much all of France. Most of Western Europe. A lot of areas aren't exactly fleshed out as they are in France, due to the fact that they weren't too pervasive. You do technically have the Eastern Front in here, but it's obviously abstracted to a degree. But, I mean, the vast majority of the fighting will be done down here in France and Italy, and then obviously in Germany itself. So you don't need to worry too much about Yugoslavia. As an example there, nor Spain, as obviously they were neutral. Okay. Not like they had a choice in that one. Rightio. So I could move up the 1st Canadian Division. I think it's a little bit overkill to go for this. I should be able to manage it here. Let's see, what does my headquarters actually have? In terms of support, we do have... yeah, okay, we have a decent amount of actual armor here. We have 3 regiments of artillery, some medium artillery. I do have some anti-tank, yep, so 17-pounders. We do have 3 tank brigades over here. One of these made up of Shermans. Okay, yep. Shermans and some actual Churchills. I like these guys. Churchill 4 and Churchill 5. Close up. Wow, so this is the bad boy spotted the 95mm howitzer. Very nice. Okay, let's see what we can actually spare to give to the actual headquarters here. By Western Europe, yes, sorry, I'm bad at touchscreen typing. Yeah, don't worry about it, dude. Oh, that's awesome there, dude. That's pretty cool. Okay. So we have self-propelled artillery. We do have additional armor. I do have an element of parachutists. Speaking of parachutists, I never actually got a chance to deploy them due to the fact that we were moving up so quickly through Italy that it just didn't make sense to drop them. Which is something that doesn't often happen, is it? Okay. I think what I might do here then is we'll assign... Then again, do I even need... Nah, I'm going to say another... I'm going to go with the 15th Field Artillery Regiment. What do we have in there? So 15th brings us another 25-pounder guns. Yep, 25-pounder howitzers. It's just a little bit of extra artillery. I was going to consider assigning armor, but I'd rather have armor assigned directly to the units, perhaps. I doubt they'll actually make it. They might do. I mean, if we take a look over here, then in terms of supply, they do have a decent amount of supply. Ammunition, they're not looking particularly great. I mean, this unit needs its ammunition. We've used quite a bit in some of these units here that have been seeing heavy fighting. Morale's pretty decent. Experience, we do have better experienced troops. Okay, I suppose at the end of the day they are cut off, so we might have that going for us. Well, there we go, wow. Yeah, we can actually see that we did have some very heavy air support there. Now, that I can imagine made a lot of difference. I mean, 153 fighters, 108 bombers. That is pretty exceptional. Yup. Wow. I can imagine the Germans there wanted some more. I mean, they had 6 BF-109s. We had, yeah, 69 Spitfires. Well, actually quite a lot of different Spitfire models here. That's quite a lot of support there. That's pretty impressive. Right, well that's fantastic. It's actually freed up my ability to move here. Nicely so. What I'm going to do here then is break up the 1st Canadian. Have them hold the front line there. Right, yep. We'll have this element of the US division. These elements, I should say. Okay. You are overburdened, so I do need to reassign some of these actual forces to the US command here, the 2nd US Corps. Move this element up here. Okay. Now, I could have the 85th make its way through here. I think I might take... we do have... Is it over here? I'm sure I have a Free French Mountaineering Division somewhere. Moroccan... You know, I'm almost certain I have one. No, actually, it just seems like I've got... Okay, that's intriguing. Right, recombine these forces over here then. There we go, recombine into their full division. Okay, move these troops up. I mean, this is a scary point over here. I do need to take the elements of this division, actually secure our position. Yeah, the units with the white... Just the white and the grey are unknown. We don't know what's actually there. So we do have to be somewhat careful. I mean, the thing is we have... well, yeah, just as I said, we have no idea what's beyond there. So it's a difficult one. We do have to be quite careful about that. Okay. I think what I'm going to do here then is have the 85th move up alongside. I mean, we do have some nice forces over here. Yep, I'm going to have the British and New Zealand, basically the Commonwealth, lead up over here. We'll have the US push up the centre. I mean, the armour is going to be doing a lot of this. I'm just going to get the actual infantry into position first and foremost, though. Okay, so I can actually cut off this element of German... Yeah, Volksjäger and Jäger. Very nice. Okay. I do not want them to occupy a mountain position, though, that's the issue. What we'll do here, then, is I'll head them off over here. This element will move in here to hold them at the rail line. Then I'll hold on to the actual town itself. There we go. So that is going to free up the 85th to move up over here. I will have a section of the 85th just hold this here. Now, it's a difficult question because obviously I do need to have some force here, but this is all rough, all like mountains and rivers. It's honestly not worth doing anything here. Really isn't. Oh, yeah, we're drawing, okay. Right, so I have the 4th over here then. Okay. It might be better to actually make the advances with our armor than see where we're left. Then at least I can actually see where I could fill with the infantry. But then again, so it's a good idea to have the infantry open the way up and then use the armor to exploit. Indeed. Now then, I could use these 2 sections from the... Well, we do have the 34th and the 1st Canadian. We'll give that a solid go. Make sure your headquarters is nearby. Right, it's over here. Bring it further forward. Okay, both assigned to the same headquarters, okay. Might be better to actually have the American forces assigned to their own corps. I'll have them attach to the 2nd US. I'm going to aim at having the different nationalities under their own commands. Just make it easier to actually see where our troops are needed and what we have, and yeah. Yes, we still have the 5th US Army over here. A couple of units back this way. 8th British Army. And we have the 5th British Corps over here that is, yeah, in need of additional units. Okay, so what we'll do then... I'll use these 2 sections over here. What does this 2nd Corps actually have in terms of support? Okay, 102 pieces of artillery and 90 pieces of armor. We'll assign some additional armor and support here, additional artillery. That'd be quite nice. Definitely going to need that just to give us a bit more of an edge. Okay. What I'll do then is I'll assign... I'm going to go with these British medium artillery regiments. I'm going to go with the 91st US Cavalry Squadron. So let's take a look then. What have we gained there? Yep, so it's like a light tank unit then, really. So I have some M8s, M5A1 Stuarts, Greyhound, sorry, not Groundhound. Yeah, it's basically like a reconnaissance section, a light armored one. Not bad, really, not bad. Okay, there we go. Very heavy amounts of air support, but you can actually see that the Axis did actually commit a fairly decent amount of air support themselves, but they actually did lose a lot there in the air. I mean, that's actually rather impressive results there. 65 fighters committed, 32 were lost, so that is almost like 50% loss rate there. Pretty impressive, actually. We can see that we lost 16 planes ourselves, 539 men, 621 units, well, 621 men less over here to the Axis, 24 guns, so what's that, a quarter of their guns lost. 7 pieces of artillery and 36 pieces of armor. Well, 1 piece of armor, sorry. How do you do intelligence? Well, you can use your actual airborne forces to perform reconnaissance. There's also reconnaissance in force, of course, by actually having units on the front line. You do gain a certain amount of detection of the enemy, as obviously they can see what they're in contact with, and they kind of gather the idea of who they're fighting. Okay, now the Flushjägers over here, I do not know if I have the capacity to push them out. I do have 2 units here. Unfortunately, the 9th is not able to commit to battle. I do have the element... Yeah, I have an additional element of the 34th I'll push up. Okay. Now, they can't go for the planned attack, but they could go for the hasty attack. So we'll give it a go. Yep, only scouted. Yep, okay. So they're not going to go easily, are they? Okay, backtrack this armor here closer to our supply lines. Okay, both elements of the 85th. Okay. I'll use my Italian forces over here then. I could actually have a pop at some of these units over here. Now, they're not exactly the toughest unit, they're not exactly the toughest division, but it's extra force, isn't it, at the end of the day? They might, as a division-sized unit, be able to tackle something light, which would do me a massive favour. It would be very handy. So I reckon we'll commit them to battle against, I suppose, even potentially their fellows. It looks like it is the German armed forces out here, though, so I don't think they'd be too apprehensive about that. Okay, this division needs to be actually assigned. Have them assigned to this division over here, then. Well, Corps Command, I should say. There we go. A little bit over capacity, but that's fine. Okay, I do have this 78th over here. Have them push up. I'll have them push up into this position here to hold it. Yep, okay. Move this command up over this way. 91st then. Right. I need to build the rail lines here. Okay, I could have it move down this way, but it just put a lot of stress on this rail line. But it is going to be the way we actually make some pretty quick progress. So we'll do that. Okay, that's about as far as I can go here. Assign some construction. Quite a lot available here. There we go. Okay. We form the division. Okay, that unit's been routed over there. That's good to know. Right. Okay, you can actually push pretty far here. Right, I might... Let's see. We do have an element here of the 1st Canadian. I'll give them a go. They can actually go for the planned attack. They don't succeed, but they do reduce the actual fortification here of the enemy. And they don't have a second attack in them, but the Italians, I don't think they might. They might have a slight chance, but I think they need a bit of additional support. That's for damn sure. Okay. So I'll commit... Yeah, I'll commit these British forces. Well, in fact, I'll have the British attack first. Actually held. Definitely underestimated them there to a pretty good extent then. Okay, okay. I did find that rather impressive, actually. I didn't think they'd actually hold. How long does this stream have left? Well, we started about 6 o'clock, so we've got 2.5 hours. So we're actually looking pretty good. Already said that if we finish the actual scenario before the end of the stream, we'll start another one just to have a bit of fun then. Be nice, I reckon. But I've got quite a lot of time left. So no worries on that front, my friend. Okay. Right, so far so good. I was hoping that we could actually dissuade them here, but we might see... We still have some additional force to throw there. May be in fact required. I do have the armor there to give us a hand. They could launch another attack. So, yeah, we'll have them move up to this position here. Issue is though, if I move there, get 7, if I move there, I get 5, but I don't have any additional support. It's hard to say. But I think I'd... Nah, we'll go for that, so I can actually have additional force. Go for a planned attack. Yep, okay, finally succeed there. So the enemy's finally moved from their position. Which is quite handy. Very happy about that one. And they've lost additional fighters there, about 50% again. Yeah, they're very low in basically armor here. That's a good job. Okay, it does actually mean the Italian force can actually attack something over here, for example. As we do have the Arno line defensives, well, fortifications there. I do have an element of the 305th. I'm going to actually attack this element of the 305th. They'd hold. But at least we've gathered some intelligence about what is here. Okay. Double check there's nothing in them. Yeah, nothing in them. No, nothing there. And does this play exactly the same as One of the East? It is very similar in fundamentals to One of the East, but this game is more complex than Categories One of the East. For example, we do have a logistics network to take into consideration, which honestly adds a hell of a lot of importance. It's one of these things of, like, in One of the East, it's like, you take a town, and it's like, oh great, that might have some supply, it might not, it might have some fuel, it might not. But ultimately, it doesn't make a massive, massive difference in the game. It's more so just defensive positions more than anything. Or just a point of denying the enemy manpower. But in One of the West, it definitely does have different values. Due to the fact that, obviously, the supply is pretty damn important for the Axis forces. As the Axis, you're not exactly in a great position. But as you can see over here at Fano, now certain towns, I can't remember the exact conditions, but for example over here at Arivito, we've been able to create a depot which will then help. Yeah, so supply will be sent here at top priority, so then ideally our units will draw from this. So when I press the 8 key, we can actually see where our divisions are drawing their supply from. And do the Germans have any chance of winning the campaign? Hell yeah, yeah. I mean, it depends really what campaign you're playing. It's very much stacked against you, obviously, if you're playing with the D-Day Londons. It's going to be tough. It is going to be a tough situation. You really are going to be up against the wall. The Wehrmacht is tired. It is no longer in command of the skies. It has been for a long time. Yep, your units are pretty much under constant assault from the air. Supplies... not making it where they need to. Reinforcements are not making it where they need to. But you can try. You can definitely try. That's a good point. Okay. Now we're making some seriously good progress here, which is nice. We can see that we could probably break through here. Now this section's extremely weak. What can we do here then? So I do have the 1st US Armoured. I have the 1st British Armoured. You're not able to make it up. Okay. I do have a 6th British Armoured here. Right. I'll bring the 1st, considering the fact that it is the one behind the lines. Well, first behind the lines. And we'll use them to ideally push the enemy back. So, yeah. Right, their headquarters can't unfortunately move up. That's a shame. Let's see, can I assign them any additional support here? I could give them additional armor, but it's one of those that isn't really necessary, not particularly... It'd be handy, but not particularly welcomed. Well, not particularly useful, as something else like sappers, perhaps. And so what we'll do then is actually hit this force over here. Right, it's only scouted. That's not great. It's not great, is it? Okay. Right, so we'll go with a planned attack here to the north, yep, which does pushes them out. It captures the depot as well. That does make sense. They did have a urban center to defend from. Okay, now we've opened that up. We are going to push this unit over here. Yep, they retreat. Okay, now I can destroy this part of the defensive lines over here. Yep, there we go. Okay, perfect. That does definitely open things up. Now, unfortunately, I can't afford to move here. We don't have that ability. But it does mean the way is now open for additional forces to take advantage of. Yeah, I could even potentially move into Florence here. Maybe. It would be good to be across the river, but we'll see what we can actually achieve here. Where the heck are my airborne forces, actually? Where the heck are they? I've actually lost track of them. Okay. Ah, convert unit. Combat roll. Ah, it's just a parachute battalion. Fair enough. Okay, so if we take a look over here then, the German positions, I mean this is very well dug in, these positions are dug in well here. If I could actually try to get around the flank and actually isolate these units here, that'd be fantastic. I'd actually have the river work against them. We do need to try and get into these urban areas, so if I could actually dislodge this unit here, that'd be great. Hello there, Pitfiend, and thank you very much there, my friend. We're actually making some good progress here. Just trying to think how best to employ the armor. The issue is we're going to be pushing across the river. We do have the 334th Division there, and yeah, they're not going to be a pushover in that position there. They actually look to be well supplied. I mean, they don't have much fuel. I mean, this unit's still don't have fuel now. Ammunition, they're not looking bad at all either. These units are lacking it. Yeah. It's not looking great. I think the actual zone of control is really hurting us. What's the terrain here? It's rough terrain. Not good. Okay. I think I'm going to move into the actual... Well, let's see. No, I'm going to do it as a division. Okay, we'll move into Florence, capture Florence. That's actually a lot of supply and fuel just captured there. Very handy, okay. But they are across the river now. So I do need to support them. I'm gonna have most of my forces actually deployed here just to the fact, well, just to the reason is, it's like I can't afford the US armoured over there in Florence to be isolated. I mean, they do have enough supply, so then again, I suppose they could actually hold, they do have enough supply, don't they? So I'll actually use the elements here of the British Armour Division to hold the line. There we go. So looking pretty good there. We actually do have the armour on the front line here. We'll have the infantry actually have to push up to push the enemy out, so we can actually use the armour again. But that'll come in the future, really. Right. Okay. Now on our flank over here. Right, I'm going to use this division actually to lock down the flank. Yeah, really need to get these rail lines moving. I think that might be what will hinder our progress here, if we are not quick in actually resolving the situation, because I need the rail line running all the way here to the north. See, I don't think you have anybody assigned to you, so I'll actually have this call transferred over here. I can actually use that then. Okay. Shit. Oh, good, I cannot repair the rail line tank corner. That's a shame. So I have some Gurkhas here. That's quite nice. Right, we'll have them transferred up via the rail. Like, as you can see here, because we have moved them... actually, they're a very light unit, so it's not a huge amount of load on the network. That's quite nice. Okay, let's see. I mean, can we actually make it across here? That is going to be the actual question. Because if I can... it does make it far, far easier for us. But it's not a certainty. I mean, it would definitely benefit us if we could actually make it across the river line there. I mean, this is it. We need to establish ourselves on the other side of the river. I need to keep the operational tempo going, because if I actually slow here, the Axis forces, they might be very much weakened, but they will recover. So I absolutely need to keep up the tempo. Right. Okay. We could try here against the... I mean, this is a smaller force there. Whoops. Apologies about that. This is the issue we have in Steam open. Okay. So I have the element of the 15th Panzergrenadier. I do then have the motorized brigade over here. I'm going to say that the motorized brigade is probably the weaker unit. Maybe. Right, the 24th Guards. Have them move up here then. Okay, so I'll have the 5th Polish Division. I'll give you some support actually. I'll give you 2 elements of the 21st. In fact, actually, yeah, I'll give you the 21st. Yeah, I mean, quite a lot of Churchills, some Shermans. I mean, this is a Sherman 1 wow. These guys are a little bit outdated now, aren't they? But yeah, we'll have the Shermans here. I'll give the actual Guards something. I'll give them the parachutes. So make this a fairly elite unit then, I suppose. Armored cars, yeah, there we go. I should imagine there's a lot of armored cars. Staghound. And a Humber. Only a 15mm machine gun there, and then a 37mm. Yeah. I suppose that'd be like a cannon when it autocannon. But of course they have the 551st. Yep, these are good guys. Parachutist, bazooka, yep. Nice stuff. Ooh, we do rout the unit. That's good. Okay. Now I do have enough here to throw the men. So we'll try it. Yep, we do force them back. That was a fair sized unit compared to what we did face then. Now, the way is open. Okay, I could use... I will do... elements of the 3rd Polish Division here to actually hold the breach open. It will allow me then to actually continue. Now, they do have the advantage of actually being able to attack. So, yep, I'll... break down part of the defensive line here. There we go. Okay. I don't think we'll be able to touch these units here. I'll go for a planned attack, see what we can do. Yep, attack is halted. Over here. Yep, halted. Nowhere near. I am going to launch these attacks though, just to try and weaken the enemy to some degree. Okay. At least we have some more information here. Okay, now that's definitely opened the way up. Yeah, I could actually seize Ravenna here. I'll have the first Free French move up. A lot of movement lost here. Skip Ravenna, go Bologna. Yeah, I mean, we'd have to try and move this way. What I'll do then is I'll move the Free French over here. Right, okay, so we can see something in front of us. Where's your headquarters? All the way down here. Let's get that... actually, I'll have you reassigned to another headquarters. We'll go with the 5th British Corps here on the front line. Have you reassigned to the 5th? Okay. What can I actually give you here? You currently have the 757th US Tank Battalion. I'll give you some self-propelled and additional armored support. Okay, let's see. I do not know where these units are. Ah, right, so just a fortified zone, but we do actually force that headquarters out of position as well. Fantastic. And here? Looks pretty... Yep, looks like a headquarters, and we do capture the city here. Yeah, we look like we're actually in their headquarters here. Actually, that is a really good result there. Okay. Oh, wow, yeah, we can definitely move on Bologna. Okay, what we're going to do here then is actually open the way up to Ravenna. Okay. Forces units out of position. Now, can't move as far, but what I'm going to do here is actually secure the path. There we go. We are going to move into Bologna here. What are we? I think we might be just shy. Yeah, we're just shy. We'll move on towards Bologna anyhow. Yeah, we are not far from a pocket, as you do point out there. Not far. We are a little bit light on the ground than we probably would like to be, but Ravenna has been secured. We do have additional forces that are moving up. It is going to take them a little bit of time, but they will be moving up. It's actually really good. I do have another division here. I could... And this is it, because the rail line's not been actually ready yet. I've not been able to move as far as I would have liked to. But we're making some good progress here. I think we might actually be able to make it really all the way to Milan if we're very quick here. I think we're definitely catching the Axis on the back foot. Have them assigned to another corps nearby. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they're going to react. They might just entirely pull out from this area because this is a bad position. Like, they're only on a lifeline right here. But this is looking good. I mean, we've made some exceptional progress here. Absolutely exceptional. Okay. I do not have anything else I could move as of yet. There we go. I do want to make sure we actually hold the line here. I don't want to allow them out. But we'll end the turn. And yeah, let's see how the Axis responds here, because they're not in a good position. They're in a very, very rough position right now. So that's not exactly great for them, is it? What are the Axis going to do? Okay, yep, they're redeploying. Looks like they have abandoned Bologna. No, actually, no, they're reinforcing Bologna. Okay. Yeah, it looks like the Axis have finally decided, yep, okay, we need to make a stand here, because we cannot allow the Axis, well, the Allied forces to move forward. They've recaptured Ravenna, but I don't think it'll take us too much to actually retake it. I think what we need to do is potentially continue to hit their supply lines. Okay, losses in the air. Okay. So if we take a look there, Axis losses. So they have had 123 pilots killed in action. They've lost 2 fighters, 197 fighter bombers, 3 tactical bombers, 20 reconnaissance, air combat. Yeah, so a lot of that is there to air. Our own losses are, yeah, 203. Not too particularly massive. I mean, total losses here, 297. Total Axis losses are 222. I mean, they have lost a few on the ground here, because I'd imagine we've ran over a few air bases. Okay. We'll look at this one ourselves then. Bring up the actual directives. Okay. So I'm running superiority over here. Whereabouts are the main Axis airfields? Yeah, definitely over here to the north. I suppose they're running out of airfields on the front line here to a degree. I think what we need to do then is run combat air patrol, or at least air supremacy over the front. I think if we can actually keep their aircraft on the ground, it could be possibly the better idea. Okay. Probably for the best. No, my forces have a lot of integrated AA, so I think what we'll do then is actually have shift. Okay. There's actually nothing assigned to this right now. That may be, in fact, due to the fact that the forces here are a little bit out of position. Let's take a look at the victory point locations. Oh, yeah. Wow. I like how Milan is not even considered a victory point due to the fact that, yeah, you usually don't make it past here. So we're not far from an absolute, total, and utter victory here. I mean, Bologna. And then obviously we just need La Spezia. La Spezia. And then, yep, that's it. That's incredible. Okay. I'll have the AI actually move up our troops. Well, move up our aircraft. Right. I think it might be an issue of airfields on the front line, actually. Cancel that then. Ground support's definitely looking good. I mean, reconnaissance is looking fabulous. Yeah, they're really far out. Okay. What I'll do then is actually extend the... well, actually, I'll move the reconnaissance then. So let's see. Move it about... Ooh, let's say... Let's make it a larger area then. Not perfect, but hey, I do need information across a wide area. Just general information. I need to know roughly their movements. Ground attack in the small area here. Quite a lot actually dedicated to that. Okay, I think we're going to run ground attack here. Yeah. 103, that's not too bad. So I'll assign some additional escort of these units assigned to air directive. Assign them all. Right, you're running night operations. Yeah, that's fine. And done. Yep, looking solid. Okay. What are we looking at in terms of... Go away there. What are we looking at in terms of actual force on the ground, then? So the Axis are looking at only 580 armoured fighting vehicles available here. 135 planes. Yeah, the Luftwaffe is just gone here in the area. 385,000 men. 3,316 guns. The Italians, yeah, they've got nothing left. Okay. When you look at our numbers are just far away. There we go, yep. I can see here then their total order of battle has been just crashing here. They've lost so very much. Hello there, Varney. How are you doing, my friend? It's fantastic to see you on stream, so yeah. Welcome, welcome. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask and we'll try and get some of those answered. But yeah, the Axis order of battle here has just been... it's gone down. Okay, let's see. Airfield losses... Yeah, I mean, we're on par with airfield losses, but there's a big difference when I have thousands and he has, yeah, less than that. Aircraft loss, okay. Ready men, yeah. Ready guns, ready AFVs, yeah. He didn't have many to begin with, but the high point was about 901 and, yeah, almost halved since then. Ready aircraft. I mean, we went from a high here. It looked like a lot of our actual squadrons were reassigned elsewhere. I don't believe we lost that many. Let's take a look then. So, air execution, total losses. Yeah, we haven't actually lost that many. Air combat losses, flak losses. So I think they were actually reassigned elsewhere. That would make the most sense, because it did seem like we just suddenly lost a lot of capability. Okay. Okay, let's get things going then. So what we're going to do then is... execute Air Directive 66. Okay. Right, so. Yeah. Don't waste your time. If it's only race Spain, I want to see it while I'm drinking half-litre hot latte. That sounds really interesting. Is that half a litre of latte, you say? Wow. That's pretty legit, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty jealous, actually. Pretty jealous. Oh, dear. Okay, so we'll speed things up a little bit. So we'll turn down the amount of actual, well, the message level here. Let's see, what's the difference then? Let's see what the different message levels are like out of interest. Okay, so that gives you, like, yeah, a hell of a lot of interest. Well, a lot of detail. Okay, we'll go to 1 here. Speed things up to a degree. Right, looking pretty solid. I'm going to be pretty intrigued to actually see how the Axis have responded. They definitely have, well, they've retaken Bologna, well, yeah, they've re-secured Bologna, I should say. They've re-secured Ravenna. I don't know if they actually have any men on the ground in Ravenna. It doesn't seem like it, potentially. But they're going to have taken Ravenna. They did need to have something there. Yep, it looks like the Panthers have left the area there. It might, in fact, only be the 334th and what looks to be 356th there. The 94th Division's in play as well. The Axis just really don't have much on the ground left here at the moment. I think they've definitely been pushed harder than they could have actually ever sustained. So that's a pretty interesting situation. I mean, the great news is we've been able to push them beyond their defensive lines just so very quickly. So they've just not had the chance to actually establish themselves. Right then. Speed things up. And just so many individual reconnaissance flights there. There we go. I'm actually not sure. Am I speeding this up or slowing this down? Let's see. If I go the wrong way around. Nope, that's definitely slower. Yeah, we'll go to about 0 again. What I like about this is the fact that you can actually do this on the fly, like really change the information you receive here. I do love the fact that we can actually see where the flights are coming from and where they're going. It does definitely help to make things easier to actually remember. I think we are looking set for a total victory here. So, I reckon we should be able to take Bologna. I can't see why not. I think, and the beauty is that Bologna is on our side of the river there as well, and the terrain definitely does favour us, which is going to be fantastic. Damn, we are doing a lot of reconnaissance fire. There we go. Yep, day 4. okay. Day 6 it looks like, yep. So, pretty, heavy, a lot of actual effort here. This is a lot of concentration in this area. I suppose we are running a lot of reconnaissance, so they are actually doing a lot of reconnaissance over a wide area here, so it's going to take them a little while. We don't need a huge amount of information, we just need some general information just to actually help us make the right decision. But as you can see there is absolutely nothing being flown here by the Axis. They have apparently 0 sorties done. Indeed, I mean, we've ran here nearly 4,000 so far. Yep, there we go. Yeah, the only hard decision here is which pocket. Definitely. Definitely a lot of pictures being taken. Yeah, we are really taking a look at every single hexagon. That's actually a really good show. I didn't expect them to actually get through it. Okay, so we lose 21 aircraft in total. 198 damage, so it did cost us quite a bit there. But let's see, wow. That was a heavy reconnaissance effort there. I'm really genuinely impressed by them. Pretty awesome. Okay. The situation here has definitely changed. Now, the 334th is actually still in its full division state. I did expect them to break up to a degree. But, I mean, it looks like, yeah, I mean, this is... The Axis is just panicking at this point. I think a small effort here, and I think we'll have them. I think by being in a position to seize Bologna. Oh god, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's basically over here. Ravenna's gonna fall here. Yeah, they just don't have anything left. I think we've just outmaneuvered them to such a degree where they just do not have the ability to fight again. As we'll catch a Bologna. Yep, the Polish will move in there to Bologna. Security unit there, capture Ravenna. Well, our objectives are, let's take a quick look then. So, we've actually captured... Wow. Pescara, Roma, Grosseto, Perugia, Ancona, Rimini, Florence, Bologna, La Spezia. Yeah, we're looking pretty damn solid here. Right, in terms of victory points. Apparently no significant VP advantage. I do find that one interesting. I consider we have them all, but I suppose this might be it. We've not actually held on to them long enough. Yeah, you can see the difference here. You can see our victory points really shoot up over here. So I think after this turn, we'd definitely eclipse the Axis in terms of victory points, which, as you can imagine, is down to the fact that we've just pushed them completely out of the area. Okay, now how best to really take advantage of the situation? They're just barely holding on. Okay. Now, this is going to be the tough part. What I need to do is actually surround a division, and I could try to actually force it to surrender then. Let's see if we can manage that. So I do have the actual Canadians over here. We'll use them to do this. Oh, fantastic. Yep, cross the river. Right. Let's see if I can seize this. Fortunately not okay. Move you here. I'm not going to use that armored. Reform the division. Okay, let's see if we can manage it. Yep, they're routed. Fantastic. So, that division now is just completely out of play. They have no further parts here to play in the rest of the campaign. Seize Looker. Seize Pisa. Yeah, man, it's just... progress has been amazing. What's the terrain here? Rough terrain? Okay. Use Italians. Yeah, they're in some good, strong positions there. Some fantastic air support actually in play. Ooh, they barely held on. They might not a second time, or they might even do better. Wearing them down, however. Wow. Right. We are seeing the final vestiges of their resistance here. That is a pretty... Yeah, that's a really tough find. That is level 4 fortifications. It's not going to just fall easily. It's going to cost us. We are going to have to try and break it down. Yeah, the Hermann and Panzer Division, at least an element of it. Yeah, that hurts, but I need to break it down. Okay, what I might do is actually use our armor to just dive deep. So I will do, actually. Okay, the other two elements move up over this way. Right, yep, they're gonna hold on for a while, I'd imagine. Cut them off at last. Keep the rail line moving north. Yeah, it's... The Axis just do not have anything left to fight here. I just do not think they can possibly hold on now. Okay, let's move on these elements. Break up the Polish. Good. Yeah, I mean, these forces are already cut off, so I think, oh boy. I mean, this is it. I mean, this... Can you imagine a breakthrough like this in Italy? It just wouldn't be feasible for the Germans to, set up any sort of government in Italy here. I mean, yeah, they just... they wouldn't have the time. I think it would be a desperate sort of defense, really, of the north. Because, yeah, there's not much here. And what's the difference between having the individual units attack instead of having them all attack at once? Well, I mean, obviously the fact is if you have the individual unit attack, you're not using the other one, so obviously they retain their movement capabilities, their strength, really. They can obviously do something else. It depends, really. Obviously, if you want to really break through, obviously you want to use as much force as possible. There's obviously haste attacks and planned attacks. It's one of those things. It's really up to the player and to make the right decision there. Yeah, indeed. Definitely closing the Po Valley. We'll be able to cross the river if we so wish to. I mean, I could cross it now. I think what we need to do here is actually cut off their rails. So if I move through here, that's going to cut off their rail over there. So I'm going to do that. Really just absolutely annihilate their logistics here. There we go. I mean, let's see. Can you see what you captured in the depots? It may be mostly like supply and fuel. I know it seems a little. I know it's vetting daft, but we are going to just dive deep here and capture these different cities. It's risky, but I think we can get away with it. Yep, headquarters over here in Venice. Yeah, I think we can be bold now, considering that I just do not think they have any chance to resist now. Now see some additional forces. Yeah, no goods, no glory. Okay, yeah. I'm going to be extremely interested to see how they respond to that. I mean, they're probably going to cut off our forces here, but the thing is, we've captured a lot of their cities here. We've cut off... We've really strangled their logistics. They're going to be flowing... Well, everything's going to be flowing down one rail line. I mean, what is even left? We might even be able to secure Milan at this rate. Yeah. Ah, the weather's finally turned on us. I think I'm going to allow the AI to actually do this. I'll allow them to manage it. I think the thing is, it's like... there's just not much left. I mean, this is a complete rout. There's only one major objective here to grab and, yeah. And what do you guys think so far then? What would be the actual outcome of a scenario like this? I mean, the German army assigned here to Italy, the Italian forces, just... I mean, what would happen? How could the Axis actually change or even... I honestly just don't think they'd have much of a choice here. I think we've moved so very quickly. I think we'd reach a point at which, like, we couldn't really advance much further due to the fact of the operational, well, the logistical challenges. But I don't think that'd last any more than maybe, like, a couple of days at most. You might get to Vienna before the Russians. Yeah, I think we'll be in Vienna probably sometime next week, actually, at this rate. Well, then again, I say that. It's about a 7-day period, isn't it? So, it might look like we're making this progress over a single day, but I mean, it's over the course of 7 days. But yeah, made a lot of progress. And I did set the AI to charge it, well, to charge it, obviously gave them some buffs there. I think I might have had to set that to possibly impossible difficulty. But, I think it wasn't so much the AI... I just think it was its choice to not hold its defensive positions and to retreat too quickly. I think the fact was we actually managed to get around them before they could dig themselves back in again. Yeah, I mean, that's Venice that we can see here. Yeah. I think Vienna is actually just... Yeah. I think Vienna's just out of our reach here. But it looks like Milan. Yep, I can see Milan. Yeah. How much is that worth to me? Yep, just one final objective. There we go. I don't think I can actually siege Turin, but we'll seize Milan. That's not something I ever expected to do, but there we go. Milan has fallen. Head over here to seize Turin. Not be able to make it, but next turn, yeah. Oh boy. It's really hard to say which of the objectives to seize now, because what can I do now? Seize Venice. Yeah, I think we've just effectively destroyed their logistics here. I mean, this would be ridiculous. It's like, I don't think we'll be able to get away with units moving, like, this deep. I mean... I don't think it'd actually be possible. Okay, Schio Ferreira. Try and create something of a unified front, perhaps. Good, dug them out of their position now. There they go. Do the Germans have a record of railways? I suppose not. I don't think you can actually have a scorched earth policy. Okay, what we'll do then is actually surround and cut off the city. This is the soundtrack that comes with the actual game, but I mean, to be fair, I've not actually seen Band of Brothers. I do need to watch that. I've heard it's extremely good. I need to watch the Pacific as well, actually. That's something I've heard a lot of good things about. There we go. City surrounded. Gathering force here now to try and make a final push. Yeah, they really do look, and I think I might watch the Pacific tonight, actually. Okay, let's commit what we can here. And the city has fallen. Jeez, Band of Brothers is pretty old. I mean, this is it. It's crazy, isn't it, to think that what came out in the 2000s is nearly 2 decades old by now. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And with that, the final objective falls, and I think at this point he's just pretty much mopping up the Axis resistance here. I can't believe the the success we've had here. He's been amazing. March on towards Genoa. Yeah, I know, this is it, isn't it? And you think about how distant the First World War is, how distant the Second World War is now, and it's incredible. I mean, the beautiful thing is, we're able to appreciate it in such a way that has never been possible before. Humbling in a way. Yeah, I just think they're starved of supply. Absolutely starved, it seems. This format. A little bit confused what you mean there, Willowbear, if you'd like to explain a little bit further. Kind of intrigued, actually. Are you talking about some kind of lecture, or a little confused? I know my last uncle who served in World War II passed away 2 years ago. Man, I'm sorry to hear about that. But I'd love... And this is it, I mean, if you feel like you'd like to share, then I'm sure there's a lot of us here that would actually really appreciate the story of heroism. Oh, right, okay. See, I've never actually played a true war game as such, as in a board game. I suppose one played upon a table, I suppose. And it does... It's a shame, actually. I'd love to play something like that, just because I can imagine it being a completely different experience. And perhaps one day. Perhaps one day. Okay, now, I'm not entirely sure at what point we'll actually win the campaign here. I mean, the fact is... we've taken bloody Milan. I don't think anybody expected Milan to fall. I don't even think we expected the Milan to fall. Just crazy. Absolutely. Wow. It almost seems silly now, just the rate of progress we're making here. Venice has been retaken, but obviously we have infantry which is spread out and obviously capture these objectives and actually hold them. We'll see our VV just rocket up now. But it's been just crazy. We'll allow the AI to run the missions here. There we go, just bombing the final unit. Yeah. Oh, they sound awesome. I like the joke from Medal of Honor Airborne about Italian troops not being able to shoot straight. I like the better trained Germans, which were hopelessly trying to maintain the Italian front line. I think it's one of those things. I don't think the Italians obviously were... no, well, obviously this is it. The Italians were not ready. And there's some very interesting differences between, obviously, like, German organization, obviously Allied organization of units. I mean, this is it. I suppose the thing is with the Italians, from what I can understand, it was a different divisional structure. So in theory, they had more divisions than really that of the other nations, but in reality, their divisions were weaker. It's one of these things, isn't it? You're alright having numbers when they don't mean anything. You guys are dating yourself. See, I was born in 1995, so I'm feeling a little bit, yeah. I can recognize my elders here. Oh dear. There we go. And that is, turning. Right, okay, just... I don't even know how we go on from here, because this is it. It's such a point now where it's beyond the realm of, I suppose, realism in a way, because we couldn't just march on here, so I'm feeling a little bit dirty just doing this, so we are going to actually go for something that's a little bit more possible, I suppose. There would be no way we'd be able to just meander around here in Italy like this. Wow. Also, the Italians had so much architecture heritage to protect, I'm sure that was a big factor of their strategy. I suppose so. I mean, it's one of these things. It's like, it's really understanding the value of something. I mean, I heard a good analogy. It's like... I can't remember when I actually heard it from now. I think it was something to do with, an eyewitness account from southern France during the Napoleonic Wars. But it was basically the actual writer of the account. He goes on to say, like, how strange it is, basically, that such beautiful mansions, for example, such beautiful homes, can be just annihilated without a care, and people celebrate. They celebrate due to the fact that, obviously, that it was an enemy position that was destroyed, an enemy position where they held was removed, the enemy was defeated there. But yet the beauty of the actual structure is just completely forgotten, because obviously it belongs to the others. So it's strange, isn't it, really? Very strange. And what I'm looking for is something between Steel Division and this granularity. To teach young recruits basics of tactics. That sounds pretty good. I suppose Darkest Hour would be very good, actually, for that. 1954, my. Ooh, very interesting time. I mean, we live in interesting times now. I mean, I don't think there's ever a point at which there is not a reason to say we do not live in interesting times, because everything's ever changing. I mean, the world of politics, the political situation has vastly changed since even I was growing up. So, we live in a very changeable world right now. Darkest Hour is fantastic, but I would definitely say play that with the Kaiserreich mod if you like a little bit of alternate history. That is amazing, very nice. Or if you want to play Darkest Hour, do go ahead and download the Total Realism Project mod. That is fantastic, adds a lot of detail, and it's really exciting. I've never actually beaten the Soviet Union in that game as Germany. I can defeat France. I can defeat France in about a week or 2 weeks, no issues. If all things go ahead. It's just when it comes to the defeat in the Soviet Union, yeah, it's just a grind fest, and it is incredible. The thing is, as well, obviously you can invade the United Kingdom and defeat the United Kingdom pretty early, but even if you do defeat the United Kingdom, by obviously, well, I mean, this is it, you can actually invade the British Isles and completely conquer the British Isles, but the British Empire will not actually surrender. You have to take all their actual strategic locations. So it's a difficult one, because then the Americans declare war, the Soviet Union declares war, so the thing is, it's like you are defeating the British, but if you defeat the British, you bring the American entry into the war earlier, then of course you force the Soviet Union to play their hand. So it's a very interesting one. It's one of those of like, do you go for a historical strategy of defeating the British, or do you go for the strategy of defeating the USSR first? But of course then you're dealing with the British, you're dealing with the Americans at some point anyhow. So it's an interesting one. Okay. Yeah, they do not have far to go now. In reality, they'll be marching into captivity pretty soon. Let's see, can we actually... not quite enough, not far. Yeah, that unit's out there. They need some support. There we go. Plenty of captives there. So it seems like we can't actually enter Parma quite yet. Not far though. I don't think we need to worry too much about subtleties to this point, well, to a degree. Reform the division here. Finesse is pretty much flown out the window here. It is, it's honestly the most incredible position here because we've made more progress than I could have ever imagined here. It feels almost dirty. It feels almost dirty how well our progress has gone. I'm not entirely sure if we'll see an automatic victory. I think there might be a point of automatic victory, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll do our best though to yeah, make sure the Axis enjoys this. You are more than welcome. I have heard tale that supposedly the Kaiserreich mod is going to be receiving a new developer, so that should be rather intriguing. Mussolini knew he was a liability to the Axis, and it did end very badly for him after all, and no one was actually prosecuted for his torture and subsequent murder. Well, this is it, isn't it? I suppose all's fair in love and war to a degree. As long as the person is sufficiently bad. I'm saying it was a moral thing, but this is what happens. Hello there, Nomadic Jam. How you doing there, my friend? It is good to see you. To find grains, Battlefield is what I'm after. No international relations and logistics. Yeah, they are absolutely without supply. I just do not think they have much left to give here. The thing is, they've been left isolated for some time now. If we take a look, their supply situation looks in theory good, but there's no hope for them to survive. They're just surrendering now. They fight a retreat, and yeah, then they're forced. They then run out of room, really. Yep, shuttered unit there. I couldn't imagine what it'd be like for the actual units down here. Can you imagine being so completely behind the enemy lines that you do not know in what cardinal direction to head in to actually find your own lines? See, there are some very fine... I suppose... I don't know whether you'd class it as a operational war game. I'm trying to remember the actual name of it now. There's some very fine Napoleonic war games out there. Well, no, I don't know. I don't think you could actually call it a war game, really. I don't think war game's the actual correct description. I'm trying to remember what it's called now. Scourge of War, is it? I think it might be Scourge of War. Yep, it's definitely just a bit of a turkey shoot here at the moment. Yeah, I think it's Scourge of War. It's definitely a game I'd like to learn how to play myself. I've had a quick go of it in the past. But the thing is, I think you'll have to reach a point in your life where you have a certain... I wouldn't call it maturity. I think you need to have a certain willingness to learn, really. Well, I suppose the thing is desperation and I suppose to a certain degree ideology. That's it, Scourge of War Waterloo. That's the game I was thinking of. I think they did make a Scourge of War Gettysburg, and I can imagine that'd be an extremely interesting one to play as well. Okay, let's see. Is there an automatic victory here? I mean, we're really gaining an advantage here. I think the scenario's only about 20 turns, so we're not far from the end. We'll definitely play another scenario after this one. We'll actually get to go through the list, actually. So what I'm going to do here is try and speed things up pretty quickly. I know it's a little bit cheap, but the thing is, the air wall is definitely decidedly in our favour. I mean, we've not seen the Axis launch any sorties now. I think their airfields have been completely annihilated. And I feel bad for these units over here that are being bombed by the US Air Forces over here, of course, as well as the British, the Commonwealth Forces as well. It's not how you want to spend your days, is it? There's not much coming back for this for the common soldier out there, is there? Yep, we are seeing losses to flag, but there's not much in the way of flag. Okay. Oh, congratulations there, Kamistar. That is awesome, dude. Congratulations on that one. I think we actually lost our unit over here. It seems like they might have been defeated by the actual counterattack, perhaps. Right, so they still have some teeth then. Reform the 5th Polish Division. There we go. So there's still elements of the Axis resistance here. Granted, they're trying to form one. Not quite enough strength there. Finish off the last vestiges of Axis resistance here. Yep, finally the 94th surrenders. We've honestly not left them much choice here, have we? The only hard decision right now is really deciding how to deploy our med to make it look somewhat realistic. I mean, complete and utter victory here. I suppose at the end of the day, this is what we strive for, isn't it? We strive to obviously achieve utter victory. Oh, there's actually still some resistance here, so, Okay, well, good news is we actually have had some additional forces. Right, so we see the 3rd Greek Mountain Brigade. And we see the Brazilians. Oh, that's awesome, the Smoking Snakes. Was it the Smoking Cobras? That is awesome. I love the fact that you see more of these obscure units. Really, really love that. There we go. I have Gettysburg. Tide turns and Ultimate General Gettysburg is what I'm contrasting with such a steel division. Look for movement of individual men and vehicles. Have you played the combat mission games? They're really quite handy. Yeah, combat mission there, as Marge just said. They're really quite good. I mean, you do get that sort of difference. You obviously are moving individual men, you're moving individual vehicles. Obviously, you have access to artillery, you have access, obviously, to the air support. But, yeah, I'd say that's pretty good for you, actually. Yeah, combat mission. Combat mission Black Sea is really fantastic, actually. There's combat mission Shock Force 2, I believe. Yeah, some really, really good ones out of it, actually. I think Black Sea is probably my favourite. I really like that one for the modern combat. But it does do a really nice job of, like, obviously representing Second World War. Okay. General Holtz will assign some additional support here. Nope, not on Steam. It is... Yeah, like Mark says there, it is pricey, but it is a game that is worthwhile. But just be sure that you have one that you really do like. Yep, exactly, Black Sea. There we go. Okay, so I see some more objectives here. Try and gather as much in the way of victory points as possible here. Yeah, I mean, this is it. They do have a demo, which is quite nice. Actually, let's see. There's not much left in terms of Axis air forces, is there? They are pretty good games. There's quite a few scenarios that are included. There we go, trying to annihilate the Luftwaffe here as well. 2024, yeah, a couple over here. Not much. Really nothing left. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of material out there on YouTube. There you go, wipe out the airfield. So we have found some element of Axis resistance here. Yeah, looks like they'll fall pretty easily. I mean, I'm playing a play-by-email series at the moment with the Historical Gamer in the One of the Pacific Admirals edition, and that's been awesome. And that's a shameless self-plug there, but it is definitely, definitely really heating up. But I love a good play-by-email. Love a good one. It's so very interesting actually reading the decisions that people make, and it's like really trying to understand why they make those decisions. I love being able to like tune in each week sort of thing and actually see what actually is the result of something. Right, there you go. So all objectives have been in fact seized, and frankly we are just trying to achieve as much as we can here in terms of victory points. What is the Axis order of battle looking like? Yeah, dropping like flies here. They do still have some forces available, but it's just not looking good for them. Okay. See how victory points are really increasing here. I mean, the amount of men they've lost, massive. There we go, moving on. It looks like we'll actually conquer Italy today. Okay. Right then. How much did they lose on the ground, actually? I don't think they had much left to lose that. They might have actually been able to make it out in the meantime. We'll allow the AI to obviously run the air attacks here. Yeah, just a couple elements left over, really. You can see some light resistance here. There's some Panzer Grenadiers in the mountains. Difficult to dig them out, but yeah. They are trying to form some line over here, so I've got to credit them for that one there. Okay. Not too bad at all then. I mean, we'll take Genoa this turn, ideally. Yep, okay, what I'm going to do here then is throw an element. There we go. Concentrate our power against Genoa. Yep, Genoa has fallen. I mean, it would be marching into France at this point. Force them to surrender. Plenty of air support over here. Yep, the unit is routed. Indeed, tanks advancing, definitely. I'm glad to see that we are seeing something in the way of resistance here. That's quite nice. I mean, how do they progress from here? I mean, what do you guys think then? What would be the actual outcome of something like this? I mean, the date here is August 17th, 1944. Where would the Allies run after this? I mean, what would the Axis, how would the Axis react? I mean, this is, and obviously this going... Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Got something caught in my throat there. Oh, God. Sorry about that. I literally just... I don't know what it was, but I just apparently choked there for a second. That's some mean voodoo. Yeah, but I mean, as I was saying, this would coincide with D-Day landings. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine this, well, linking up with, what was it known as Operation Dragoon? You know, I'm actually not sure if the Axis ever... Well, if the Allies ever fought the Axis in the Alps. Oh no, I don't think they would have... I mean, this is it. Would they have even held Normandy? Would they have pulled back? I mean, this is it. I mean, the questions raised by success like this would have been just absolutely crazy. Ah, okay. That's understandable. I mean, can you imagine the prestige for the commanding generals here? That would have been impressive. There we go. We've almost effectively wiped the Axis from the map here. Yeah, we could practically pour into France here at this point. And imagine there would have been a significant Axis response. I think it would have been a case of I don't think we could have made it here. Yeah, it's pretty insane here. I think Churchill had been urging for the Allies to push into Yugoslavia through northern Italy to take more ground so Stalin wouldn't get it. Oh, this is it, isn't it? I think I don't think we could have potentially... I don't think anything like this could have been done. I think it would have been a case of... the Axis actually really responded in a big way. I suppose in a big way is in additional reinforcements. Yeah, I'd imagine so. And I don't think I'm playing well. I think we just had a really, really lucky break. I think had we seen this against a human opponent, everything would have been magically different. Well, this is it. I suppose they would have probably intended to hold in. I'd say definitely Milan. I think definitely Milan. But even then, look at that. That was a very quick air phase. Yeah, we are seeing what looks to be reinforcements, perhaps. Okay. Right. What I'm going to do here then, ladies and gentlemen, we do still have about 55 minutes, so what I'm going to do here is we're going to quickly save this, and I think we're going to choose a new scenario. I think that'll probably be the best bet. We'll go in a different scenario and have a bit of fun there. What do you guys reckon? So let's see it then. I'll give you guys a choice then. So you guys have your choice of scenarios here. So yeah, see which one intrigues you the most, and we'll go for that one. It'll be quite a bit of fun. If you guys have earned it. Bulge to the Rhine. I think you guys really like the scenario. Operation Dragoon. Indeed. I'll see you later there, Willabear. Have a good one, my friend. Okay, let's see. We do have an interesting scenario. The fourth Supreme Command is actually our alternate history one here. We'll actually go for a couple of these scenarios and see which one you guys like. Which one's the smallest one? Good question, actually. Let's see. We have 12 turns here at the West Wall. Having broken out from Normandy, beachhead the Allies have advanced rapidly across France and now near the German border. Ooh. The scenario seeks to recreate the Battle of West Wall in autumn 1944. At the start, the Allies have the opportunity to launch Operation Market Garden. Anxious players should seek to prevent the Allies breaching the West Wall. The Allied player should overcome logistical challenges and reach Germany before the end of the year. Let's see. Possibly Allied triggered early end. Intriguing. Okay. 100 turns there. Obviously, that's quite a long one there. Yeah, so it seems like we do not recommend this scenario to be played against the AI. Okay. Point blank directive. Rommel attacks. Okay, that's about 5 turns. Let's see. Operation Dragoon. Yep. Bulge to the Rhine. Break out in pursuit. How long was this one? So this one, yeah, 20 turns. It seems like there is actually no early end there. So I thought, yeah. Okay. I think we'll go for then Rommel attacks. We'll take a look at this one then. Fresh and inexperienced American forces are rapidly building strength in southern Tunisia in order to plan a breakthrough across the Tunisian plain and cut the Axis position in two. With the British 8th Army stalled in Libya due to an overextended supply line, Rommel and An-Nim pulled their mobile forces and launched counterattacks against the American Second Corps. But Rommel and An-Nim can't agree on the overall objective. Rommel wants to destroy the Americans and drive to the coast, while An-Nim wants to gain better defensive ground and dig in. Incredible. The scenario covers the Axis offensive by the 5th Panzer Army and the Panzer Army Africa, and its drive on the American depot at Tebessa. Yeah, we'll take a look at this one then. I think that'd be alright, actually. We might, yeah, wow, okay. Extremely small scenario here, but this will be fun. Yeah, definitely guaranteed for armor. I think this will be quite interesting. We do have a lot of maneuvering here. Now, of course, I've never played this scenario myself, and it is going to be rather interesting one to pick up. Now, of course, we are playing as the Allied forces over here. So let's take a look at the actual situation on the ground then. Now, of course, we do aim to prevent Rommel here. Indeed, let's see. We'll take a look at the actual victory locations then. Okay, so yeah, Tebessa. Lekef. Okay. Now our own objectives here. Okay. Now the terrain is really, yeah, the Battle Castle terrain. Will it be a very interesting one to actually try it myself then? Okay. 47 for Air Land Brigade, intriguing. Heliger and Kampfgruppe. So we do have elements here of Free French forces. We obviously do have American forces. I don't think we actually have the benefit of British forces here as well. So what do you guys think then? What would be the real question here? I suppose the difficulty is we do not want to really be outmaneuvered. We do have to be very careful about that. I think what we need to do then, I mean, if we take a look at this, then I suppose this is a completely different situation to that of Italy. The road systems are going to be much worse here, and the fact is we are only seeing a single solitary rail line here. So, I mean, yeah, well, I mean, we do have a second one down here, but for the most part, it is 1, 2 rail lines that are effectively feeding the Axis offensive here. Right, what do they have in terms of air power? Okay. Not terribly large amounts here. A lot of mud roads, yeah. Now, what do we have? We do definitely have the strength of the air here, so that's encouraging. So if we take a look at the older in battle, so 167,000 Axis forces ready here, 958 artillery pieces, 166 pieces of armor. Really, really a small scenario here in terms of the grand scheme of things. And 213 aircraft. Italian, 76,000 men, 656 artillery pieces, and 202 AFVs, and 35 planes. We do obviously have the strength here in numbers. Oh, I suppose it's going to be an interesting one. I really do think so. Right then. It is going to be a very intriguing one. Yeah, the road and rail network at the time was horrible. I can imagine it is definitely horrible. We torch now. Indeed. Okay. I think we really need to try and inhibit his armor, so I think that is where we need to concentrate over here. Oh no, we actually do have some British forces over here to the north, and that's nice to see. Very handy. Okay, so I think we are going to use our... yeah, Castellino bust, definitely. Let's see, ground attack. I mean, do we actually attack the armor itself directly? I mean, that could be a potential. What do you guys think? Do we go for the armor directly? Or do we actually seek to try and inhibit these logistics here? This is going to be a very intriguing one at that. Okay. And we do have some really nice defensive positions here. I suppose where we need to try and hold... I mean... Yeah, I mean, you take a look at the size of these units. These units are extremely small scale. I mean, this is a battalion. There's only 600 troops there, 488, so yeah, there's only about 1,000 men here. Yeah, significantly lower numbers of troops over here. I really do like this. This is actually very intriguing. Because the scale of the units we have available is extraordinarily different to what we're used to in the actual previous scenario. Like, for example, over here, we only have 3,425 men, 22 guns, 74 armored fighter vehicles. So quite a lot. Yeah, the passes, definitely. Yeah, I mean, we really do need to protect Tebessa. But the thing is, I think this is awesome. Okay, I might just have to try and do something against the logistics here. I mean, even close support, perhaps? But let's see here. I think, first of all, we need a reconnaissance. Let's take a look at the actual directives themselves, then. Okay, so we're running a lot of reconnaissance over here. We're running a lot of ground attacks. Okay. Ooh. Okay. I think what we're going to have to do here is run... I think the main area that we need to protect is going to be obviously Tabasco itself. I mean, that is that objective in itself, so I think definitely Tabasco or bust here at the moment. So I think what we'll try and do then is actually hold here in the passes. And we do have a mountainous terrain to help us. I mean, we do have good terrain here to defend with. It's going to be hell. I mean, the weather here, what are we looking at in terms of weather? If we take a look then, so air conditions, yeah, okay. Ground conditions, quite spotty. Looks like we're looking at mud here. Different amounts of mud into the next week. Yeah. There's a lot of rain here. Heavy rain it looks like as well. We will see the situation of the skies clear up then. Yeah, it's definitely a mess. Okay. So I think what we're going to do then is actually reposition the reconnaissance over here. I'm not going to actually particularly alter the elements with involved, but I'm actually going to change the intensity and the actual size. We're going to reduce it to about 3... No, actually no, we'll go back to... I'll go for the... yeah, I think that works out pretty good actually. Concentrated in this area over Catherine actually. We do need to be very informed about where his actual forces are moving. Superiority in this area, ground attacks. I think superiority over here. I think for the most part we'll probably pull back our units over here. I want superiority over this localized area. Ground attack. I'm going to have that ground attack actually redeployed over here to Catherine. We'll actually have that turned down to size 2. I want it really in this area. Potentially even 1. Yeah, I'm going to go with about 1. Increase the... Yep, okay. So I do have some additional groups available. Some Spitfires and Lightnings. These are fighter bombers. Have them assigned there. And additional escorts. That leaves us reconnaissance over here. Yep, I'm happy with that. Oh boy, wow. Luftwaffe Jaeger Brigade. So we'll execute our current air directives then. And what do you guys think of the results of that? Because I think it's going to be a really interesting one. I honestly do not know what to expect here from Rommel. It's going to be extremely interesting. I mean, this is it. He's like, I'd love it. I actually really do find this super exciting. I think, yeah, this is looking great. Let's take a look here. I mean, the situation here on the ground. Okay, we're actually seeing some Italian forces. Oh my god, this is awesome. I'm loving this. But yeah, we can see here that Rommel... Oh, wow, okay. So we have elements here of the 1st US Division cut off, the 1st US Armor Division cut off over here as well. Yeah, okay, so... It's actually rather intriguing. I do not think we actually want to move in here because we are going to be then outflanked by the Africa Panzergrenadier Regiment. So I think what we'll do here then is actually take a position here between the actual mountain pass. Right, what do we have here in terms of fortifications then? So we lack any fortifications here. We do have some fortifications here to the town to the south. We do have some light fortifications here across this line, but other than that, nothing particularly much. And the Axis do not seem to have fortifications in of themselves as well. So we are going to take up this position over here with the US Ranger Battalion. But the thing is, obviously, we need the reinforcements elsewhere. I do have these units in reserve. We do have an element of the 34th US Infantry Division in reserve here. So 4,771 men, 64 guns, and 25 armored fighting vehicles. Yeah, I think we generally have to take the Italians here. And really worried about that. Let's see. I can't break that unit up. Now, I'm going to place this unit here. I don't think the Axis is going to be crossing the mountains here. I do not think they're going to be doing that. Now... Right. I'm actually going to use the element of the 34th US Division and actually use them to secure our position here. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to leave this unit here, the CCD 1st Armored Brigade in reserve. What's the logistical situation looking like here? Yeah, I mean, obviously this has been taken. Then again, it doesn't particularly matter. We can't use it anyhow. I do need to keep the Algiers, Sahara, and Free French Infantry Brigade here, just in this position. They are in rough terrain, probably the best they'll ever get, actually. Need to try and hold them off here. The difficulties, we are going to be split up here. Oh god, there is so many choices here. We do have other elements of the British forces over here, man. That's good to see. I actually do have a division over here. Well, I suppose you could call it a division, but it's, I suppose, yeah, I suppose it is divisional strength in comparison to everything else here. I mean, I'm not gonna like talk down about. That's really, really bloody handy. Okay. Right, then. Oh god, this is so very interesting because this is it. We're used to things at much larger levels of scale here. Right. Doesn't seem like we need to repair the rail lines, which is quite nice. Really fortunate on that one. Plenty of air support, which is fantastic. Okay, this unit is actually not assigned to a core. And let's actually move up the core headquarters over here then. Have you reassigned over here? Okay. I think for the most part we need to take absolute advantage of the terrain. Now. CCB. CCA. CCD. It would be nice to try and break out the CCC unit or the first. We could attempt to take Kasserine, but I don't think that does any good. I think it, in fact, weaken our position. As we're going to try and here hold in the passes. I do have a spare unit to a degree. I suppose for the time being, I'm going to actually have that hold-up position here. I'm not going to have any reserve because I do not have the points to do so. But at least we actually do have a infantry unit in a blocking position. I can't give them any additional support, but I do have the 830th Tank Destroyer Battalion. Quite nice, actually. Yep, only 37mm. We do have some larger here, M14s as well. Yeah, this is it. Exactly what would Patton do? Okay, I could split that division up. Which I'm going to leave 2 elements over here. Do I give up a defensive position? I do give up a defensive position there. Right, that is also in rough terrain. Okay. Now we do hold the mountains here, so what I'm going to do is actually take 2 elements of that force. This element of the Constantine March, Free French DMC, will be placed in reserve. I do have this element of armor. Bloody hell, look at that, 213 vehicles. Okay. What we're going to do then is actually head back to the rail line. I do have British armor over here. Yep, okay. Paras over here. Right. I could have them move strategically. And what I'm going to do then is have them moved out over here. Taking them off the rail lines. In fact, taking them off the rail lines over here to Tabasa, then at least we have additional support. Support our units out here. I'm going to keep the 1st US Armoured. I'm going to keep them on the rail line, actually. Well, I'll place them on the rail line over here to Likav. The reason for that, I'm also going to leave them on the rail line, is I actually have then the ability to redeploy them if I should so wish to do so. We'll have these units reassigned. Okay. I suppose the situation is going to really develop because, I mean, we have objectives ourselves. We can't really just stay here. It would be nice to try and seize one of them. We'll perform some reconnaissance here then. So I'm going to launch a small attack here just to see. Okay, we do have a reserve actually committed. Right. 1,800 men here. Not much in the way of actual armor. We could potentially break that position there. I think what we'll do here then is actually take this from reserve to the actual full division. Now I don't have much, and I can't launch another attack. Okay, let's shift positions here with the Algerian. Move up. I'll leave one section here on reserve, and I'll leave this section here on reserve as well. There we go. Now, I do have 133. We'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. Right, they do hold. I do lose a few aircraft there. Difficult situation. We'll try to actually weaken that position here and try to open it up to a degree. I think over here there's a different situation. We do have some strength here. Right, first, second, third. It's about 3,000 men. Right, let's perform some reconnaissance over here. Okay, 2,700 men. They are fairly well entrenched at that. Right, I'm going to move the 3rd para down here. I'll take second stay here then. But I'm going to have the armored move out. Is there another element to them to actually form the division entirely? Don't think so. Right, so that's about 120 armored fighter vehicles there. I'll place them in reserve. We'll see how it goes on next turn, actually. The rough terrain, poor roads, and weather makes a bit of a challenge. Yeah, I can bloody well imagine. Right, we'll end our turn here, see how the Axis actually responds. So that's going to be the main point here. Right, but I mean, this is, you can see here losses is not good. I think a lot of these losses obviously coming from the fact of, yeah, so we won't attack there. That's a shame. Let's take it out. I think I need to put the measures details on actually there. Yeah, that was some heavy losses there. 1,600 men there. Looks like the Battle of Castle Pass is going to be bloody. I mean, so far, yeah, they're absolutely concentrating their forces against me here. I mean, I might have a chance to actually try and slip out, but the 21st Panzer Division, holy moly, in full strength as well. Jeez. Yeah, we only have the... we have to try and pull out. Absolutely have to try and pull out. Okay, we're going to change the ground attack here. I'm going to have that repositioned, actually. So, yeah, we need to try and hit the 21st Panzer Division. Try and aid these poor fellows over here. And do some additional Spitfires. Increase the size of the reconnaissance effort. Okay. Telegramma. Over here. Redeploy these Spitfires. Move them over here. I don't think they're actually able to be used quite yet. Yeah, continue reconnaissance over here. And this is it. We don't have much in the way of information here. I think we need to redeploy the armor down here then. Because this is a very, very interesting situation. Yep, hitting that area. I mean, the bombing operation looked okay there. We're definitely seeing it in action, which is nice, but let's see what we actually managed to achieve here. I mean, we lost 6 aircraft, 74 damage, so I mean, the enemy lost 0 here. Did inflict some damage upon the unit there. 14 personnel. Gun was destroyed here. Destroying the guns is actually very important. I mean, personnel losses do add up over time. So even 17 odd men or 14 odd men, it makes a difference in the end. Yes. Okay. Quite a lot of bombing in this area. The 21st is going to be bloody... I mean, I love this. I love the scale of it. It's completely different when you have only, what, 612 men against an entire Panzer division. An entire bloody Panzer division. Okay, so for the moment I can hold my position here. We obviously do need to dig in. We just need to hold position here, I reckon. We are starting to dig in, which is fantastic. I think what we need to do here is actually just really establish our positions as best we can. Yeah, the mud is actually really going to be handy. You can see that there's actually a decent amount of water here, so it's going to slow them down for the time being. I think we need to fortify the position here to the south. Over here as well. Okay, have you reassigned to a close headquarters? Okay, yep, we need to hold the mountain passes here. I am going to bring the armor out. Well, actually, no, but again, Let's see here. We do have the advantage of 2 divisions. Well, give it a go. Okay. We can secure our actual objective there. It looks as though they actually support along, well, pull back along this line. I do wonder if they're pulling their men here, which is a very interesting and risky strategy, I suppose, but I'm not entirely keen on moving too much until we actually have a clear idea of what's going on. I am going to have the CCB redeploy down here. I'm going to actually have them sent down here to the south. I mean, it's an issue due to the fact of the lack of rail. But I'm going to have them sent here alongside the Rangers to actually try and dig into that position. Right, have the armor reinforce this position here, try and, we just really need to dig in for the most part. Okay, pass turn 2. Yeah, they're finally gone. Right then. I mean, this is it. I mean, now that they've actually destroyed our unit there, it is going to mean, well, they're free to move on, and they definitely will move on now. And I don't know how it's going to go. I mean, this is it. We are facing the might of a Panda division. As we've seen the German Arab Infantry Division, Battalion, Africa March, 21st Panzer, elements of 15th Panzer, 10th Panzer, Hemiger in Kampfgruppe. What? I'm not keen on moving in here. It looks like the Axis has moved out, but I'm really not going to move into that area. I just don't think it's worthwhile. See, these, okay, we have an actual full division here, fantastic knife. See, these scenarios here are really, really definitely better played against the actual, well, a human opponent. But I think the AI is going to give us a good go. Okay, I'm going to concentrate my air power against the 21st. I think we absolutely have to. Yeah, they definitely mean business. Target priorities is going to be, forget the airfields. Just, I want to know where their units are. Run superiority again in the area, yep, okay. And let's see here what we're looking at in terms of reconnaissance then. There we go. Right, I expect to see the Axis actually moving up now. Yep, 15 aircraft lost 117 damage. I mean, that is a lot there. And let's see how the ground attack turned out. Yeah, only light damage inflicted there. We do destroy another gun and 5 personnel, but that's not much. Right. Okay, so this is when our units surrendered. I think we'll weather the storm for the time being. We do have a division to transfer, so that is fantastic. We'll have them move up over here to Tabasa. Take them off the train. There we go, we actually do have a section of Free French forces ready too. Fantastic. Okay, we are digging in here. Level 2 fortifications here, level 1 here, level 2, level 2, level 1, level 1, 1. That's what we need. 0 here still. Digging in over here. Okay. Now I could advance here, but I'm going to give the AI a greater chance. Not too much in the way of movement needed there. I'd imagine that's a really interesting read. I mean, I really do not know much about the African campaign. I honestly do not. I think it's one of those parts of World War II that just not quite as in the public sphere of knowledge as you would imagine. Yep, okay, so we can see here the 10th Panzer's moving. I probably need to change my settings when it comes to actual messages. Right. See, I don't have the exact information where the actual division is now. Okay, let's hit the 10th. I'll keep everything else as is, really. See, I'd love to play this against a human opponent. I can imagine it being very interesting, actually. Panzer down here. I wonder if I is the 21st or what, 15th, maybe? That might be the 21st, I'm not entirely sure. Right, actually do more damage there than we have done before. That's nice to see. Okay. Right, we'll divide these units here, I reckon. Yeah, I can imagine. Right, gonna shift up over here. I don't want to surrender my positions exactly, but I don't really want to be pushing it further. We do have a solidly fortified position here. I'll reinforce... Well, actually, no, I'm going to keep this on Tabessa just in case. Okay. Right. Okay, we'll keep that concentrated in the same area. Execute directives. Okay, we're finally getting some well, actual detail. A little bit too much. See, I'm not a very good 1v or 1 of the West player. I'm better at 1 on Pacific, and I'm okay at 1 on Pacific. I'd say possibly, like, passable. I wouldn't say anything much more than that, really. But, I mean, if you guys think so, I mean, maybe in the future. I'd be very interested anyhow. So, what do we think so far, then? I think the AI has been a little bit less than the aggressiveness that you really need. Okay, let's take a look at the results here. Not bad. 42 men, that's not bad at all, really. Yeah, patience is definitely key. Well, to be fair, I play War in the Pacific, and it takes a lot of patience. Okay. I think what we might do is actually attempt this scenario as the Axis. I think that might be how it's probably... Okay, wow. Yep, ow. That was loud. Jesus, I'm sorry to those of you who have earphones. Oh, God. Yeah, that got me good. That got me good. Oh, God, that got me good. Well, apparently it's an Axis victory there. I think that was due to the fire. But then again, I didn't want to actually take these positions here when the enemy wasn't defending it, unfortunately. Oh, but I think we'll try that as the actual Axis this time. Bloody hell. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm so pretty sorry about that. I hope you weren't deafened. That was interesting. Okay, let's try that scenario then as the Axis here. And we'll put the AI on impossible difficulty. I'm sorry, guys. I can only apologize. Okay, we'll attempt this as the Axis this time, then. So let's take a look, then. So approaching this from the different sides. Right. About 13 minutes left of stream here. I'm sure those of you who are deaf... I mean, I swear to God I'm deaf now, but... that was fun. Indeed. Not gonna lie, I didn't expect it to be that loud. Right, so of course we do have this reverse panzer here. I think... Let's take a look at the actual Allied air positions here. So as you can see here, quite a large airfield. I think we need to strike at the Allied airfield over here. Fighters here. Maybe at the bombers. Ground support, ground attack. We'll set up a ground attack mission. Issue is it's like how much do we actually really have available here? Reconnaissance. Well, we don't really need it there, do we? We'll have it concentrated down here by Catherine. Right, turn that down to... I'd say about 3. We'll go with 3, actually. Yeah, we need to either strike at the Allied airfields, or we need to strike... Well, this is it. It's either supremacy or we strike at the airfields. I don't think we really have much in the way of choice, do we? Let's see. We're only running one doctrine, it seems. Well, one mission here. And what do the green and red marks on the map mean? Okay, so... I think red means you have insufficient amount of aircraft assigned. Maybe? Can't quite remember, but what we're going to do is actually disregard that one. I'm not going to bother actually supporting our troops on the ground here with the aircraft. I think we need to use them offensively against the enemy airfields. And to try and buy potentially some time. Okay. I don't have much in the way of bombers here, but we do have fighters, of course. So we can actually use our forces here. So we're going to select this hex over here, try and hit... yeah, so we'd be basing from here. Would it be potentially better? I think it might be better, let's see. I'd say we're flying over less units, perhaps. Okay, so there's only 16 bombers here. I mean, that would be the Focke-Wulf 190s. Let's see, from the other staging base over here, what could I actually bring to bear? Okay, I could actually bring some Junker 87s as well, so I think we'll go with that then. I suppose we are running a bit less. Okay, fighter bomber fighters. Fighter bombers. That's only 18 additional. I'll have them fly. There we go, 58 aircraft. Confirm. I don't think it's going to do us very good here. Oh, we're talking about these ones. Oh, right, yes. These airfields, when it's red, it means it's unoccupied, I do believe. When it's green, it means it is occupied. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I apparently misunderstood the question. In fairness, I've had my brain blasted out. I'm sure you guys have as well. Oh, crazy. Okay. I think we have to be quite aggressive here. I think we really need to push before they can actually establish positions. Now, of course, I do still have some planes available. Let's see. There's another airfield here. I think we need to try and hit the Allied airfields. It's not going to be bloody nice. It's not gonna be fun, but I think it needs to be done. Yeah, Focke-Wulf 190s. Fighters and fighter bombers, yep. Confirmed directive. Okay. Do I have anything else available, I wonder? Yeah, so you have like level 1, level 2, level 3. So level 1, level 2, level 3 airfields. Right then. I can't remember if the Shermans were just started to come onto the battalion field at this time. I'm not entirely sure myself, actually. I can't answer that one. So we'll try and run our bomb missions over here. And I don't think they're going to go very well, to be honest. I don't think they're going to do very well. Air combat here. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, we are being shot down in some pretty heavy numbers here. I don't think we're going to inflict much damage. I just think it's one of those, use it or lose it, or use it and lose it, or not use it and lose it anyway. It's a difficult one, really. Yeah, that's a lot of AA. There's a whole bunch of AA. Okay. Oh, Jesus. So 42 aircraft loss. Okay, yeah. I don't think that really worked out for us. Doesn't seem... No, I mean, we only shot down one enemy aircraft here, so I don't think that went well for us here. I think this is a shit amount of Allied air supremacy and AA guns. Okay, we'll try and do our best here. Yeah, I mean, that is an impressive amount of AA. Okay. This unit may not be broken down. Yeah, I can imagine they would be bad. Right, so we can see here the Axis... Well, sorry, the Allies have moved forward here. Okay. I think what we need to do here then is actually use our infantry to surround the enemy force. We do have elements of the Africa. Saharan cavalry. I do have a heavy panzer company here. The 501st Heavy Panzer Company. So we do actually have 5 Tigers and 5... Is it 5? 6 Panzer III Ns. Okay, armed with 75mm Kadubu K37L24. Not too bad, not too bad. Right, move up here. Right. I need to actually concentrate my German troops here. We'll seize the base here. I'd imagine the A8s are pretty nice. Okay. Right. Before we move any further then, we are going to try to use our forces here. They hold. Unsurprisingly, I can imagine. Right, we use the panzers here as well then. Right, we do actually force them to rout here. That's fantastic. Yeah, okay, so we do have the German Arabs over here. Well, the Arab-German force. Can push that up. We are going to use here... Let's see... Defensive CV... we are going to have to use the Panzer Division, man. Yep, okay. We're going to use the Panzers... And the actual force here. Can I actually assign anything to aid the 21st? No, there's no support available. Okay, what we'll do then is we'll use the 21st Panzer Division and the Africa March A28 Infantry Battalion. They do hold on here. I mean, as we can see, they're in pretty decent force. Well, that's our force. I always forget which one it is. I always confuse it. They do lose some elements there. We'll try again, obviously, everything we can throw at them. Try and just force them to surrender. Still not quite, but we are destroying a large amount of their vehicles. I suppose this is I should have probably left them to actually starve. Right. Secure the rail line here. Right. We'll secure the base over here to the south, actually. Use that to actually supply us as we go. Damn, no supply there captured, but I suppose it's better than nothing. Okay. I actually kind of do want them to push in here. So I'm going to try and entice it to a degree. In fact, actually, I'll send that A24 back. Okay. Probably, we should have left them really here, but the issue is I can't really afford that. We almost broke them. Okay. Losses weren't too bad. I suppose we only lost about 4 guns and 4 AFVs in the end. Obviously, there were more damage and etc. previously, but not terribly so. Okay. I don't know what we really have left in terms of actual air capacity. We do have these elements over here, so at least we can have them surrounded. We just need to really push on here. The Algerians here, we can actually cut off and then carry on moving. We do have the 131st Centauro Italian Armour Division, so still 108 vehicles, so at least it still is something. I mean, what do we have here in terms of actual capability? Okay, cancel these attacks. Okay, we'll just assign it as just support then, I guess. Right. Okay, try and get everything here. The range just makes a mess for everyone in this part of the wall, yep, definitely. Okay, we'll throw what we have available then. Which ain't gonna do a whole bunch. At least we only lose one aircraft though. Okay. Have the Italians secure the actual passes here. Okay, we need to move on. Yeah, we don't have really anything in terms of logistics. Okay, have the arm move on up. Right, they may yet surrender. I do want to only use the infantry, however. But I don't think that's going to be enough. I think it is going to need, like, actual armoured support. Still not quite enough. Right, we could capture... But there's really nothing there. Take advantage of that. At the 21st Panzer Division reassigned. That's a really tough position to break. I think it's honestly a case of make or break, so we'll throw what we can here, try and break their position somewhere. They barely hold. Okay, not bad, not bad. Okay, we'll try and force that position, well, that enemy unit out of position. Go from there, really. Okay, looks like they're actually trying to break out. It's intriguing, actually. Actually, that's a full-blown counterattack, but we might be able to take advantage of that. Holy moly, okay. Wow, that is a full-on counterattack. Yeah, that's a full-on... Wow. But we might actually be able to take advantage of this. Okay, this is actually going to be really interesting. Or really scary. It's one or the other, but I think we can actually solve this situation. At the end of the day, we do have our forces behind their positions, so we can actually move with the 21st Panzer Division to try and cut off the enemy forces here. And that could actually be rather intriguing. Okay, let's see what we can do here, because this is actually going to be extraordinarily interesting. We do have a strong position here, but they've got to have taken forces from elsewhere to have done that. It's cost us quite a lot there, but we'll see what we can do here. In fact, I mean, I can just leave things on actual AI. I mean, we've already had it set to ground support, so it's not too intriguing. But yeah, we can actually move over here to Castle Arena. We can actually try and cut them off here. Yep, the Allies do strike indeed hard. Right, Centauro. CCB. Okay, let's annihilate that unit if we can. Yeah, they surrender. Fantastic. Right, check them off over here. Right. Right, we route them here. That's good. Not the best position to be in right now. But they've really thrown everything here. Well, now. Okay. I think what we'll do here is we'll use the 21st to actually hit their position here. Now the US Rangers... Bloody hell. Ah. Bloody Rangers. Scouted only. Right. They're just holding. They might break. It's costing us, but I need... Yep, finally. Okay. I do finally break them. So at least they're no longer in a stronger position than they were. Yeah, I mean, we've cut that rail line there, which is really good for us. We are in a difficult spot here. I mean, I suppose I could have had the 21st move this way, but I thought if I can actually defeat the force over here, we might have a chance actually to push them back. Seems not. We are taking losses here, but I think we really, if we are lucky, right, have the AI, actually no, have it continue to support us. It's going to hurt here. I don't know how they're going to play this. They're not entirely cut off, but yeah. Did they not actually move here? I don't think they actually moved. No, they've actually held position then. Interesting. Oh my god, we can actually catch Tabessa. Oh well. Don't mind if I do. Really, I can't catch that. There we go, Katarina has been taken. Yep, heavy losses. Oh, sorry, losses? Heavy losses there. Seems so. Seems so. Might be able to grab the second one over here. Yeah, I mean, this is a crazy situation. Because we really, really lack in terms of strength here. Let's see, what do we have here at Tabassa? We actually do have some supply. That's really nice. Intriguing. Now, I'm actually going to turn the game volume really far down, just because I think we are near the end of the game. So I just don't want to deafen people again. Yes, this is indeed against the AI. We'll finish this and then we'll finish the stream. It's been a rather intriguing one. I think things have gone up and down. I think it... I was hoping for more of a challenge in the Italian scenario, but I think we just really got them where we needed them, and we just carried on forcing them into a terrible position. The AI really... I mean, the Americans really did push in here. Yeah, they're trying to break out again. I mean, they technically have broken out here. But the thing is, they've still lost Tabassa, so we have our objective there. We might be able to move up to take another objective here. And just... Let's skin our teeth here. It looks as though we've been encircled here ourselves, actually. Yep. We definitely have. Thankfully, we can break out that one. But it's not a great situation. It's an extremely different one. I mean, frankly. And they've enveloped us, but we've enveloped them. But it's a question of who envelops who here at the moment. Okay, I'll let the AI just do it then. Okay. Crazy. Alright. I can't quite make it. Not far. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Actually, no, we're not cut off. Okay, awesome. Let's put some pressure on the Allied force here. course, they have me over here, but I mean, I suppose we can pull our forces out here. We absolutely need to, it seems. Have to check that advance. Cut it off. Yeah, there we go. So I think in honesty, we've come out on top here somehow, and I'm not entirely sure how, but we have. I'll go cut off the unit. We'll break up elements of the 21st. Can't quite push them back, but at least we can hold them in place. Right. Okay, so now, I do apologize if this blows your ears out, guys. I have turned it down. I am really on standby to turn it down further. So let's hope he doesn't deafen us again. But after this, we'll actually call the stream to an end. Okay, they do break out, of course. And they grab my unit. Became some sort of brawl in this location, definitely. And this is not an area you want to be cut off from your own supplies. Oh, absolutely not. Yep, they do still look to be cut off here. That's good to see. Yep, we do manage to hold here. Whoa. My god, that is still loud. Wow, that's impressive. Now, I have no idea what sort of result we achieved there, because I think that was an incredibly hyperic scenario. I think we both just bled each other to the bone there. We'd surrounded the enemy and then been surrounded and then been surrounded again. Yeah, I've turned the volume down there, so that won't happen again. But let's see, how did we do here? I think it's probably defeat, but we'll see. I mean, we did capture Tabasa, so a draw. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. Intriguing. That's been a laugh. That has actually been quite amusing, then. Okay, I mean, we can't complain about that. Yeah, very, very interesting, but I hope you guys have enjoyed that. I mean, it has been a bit tongue-in-cheek today, hasn't it? But hey, that's part of the fun. So until next time, guys, thank you so very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this. If you have enjoyed this, you can actually find me you can actually find me on YouTube. You can go ahead and follow this link and find me there. I do, of course, do a lot of Gonna Go Speed content, mostly One of the Pacific at this point in time. But yeah. There we go, post a link there. And if you'd like to join in the discussions as well, I do have a Discord. Feel free to join in. Send a link here. But again, thank you so very much to Matrix and Sovereign Games for allowing this to happen. These guys are freaking awesome. And yeah, genuinely great company. Really like them. Thank you so very much for that, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I thought, you know what, if we can actually get the stream done, then I might as well actually take a look at some of the other scenarios. So it's been a lot of fun. I've really, I've had a nice time. I hope you guys have as well. And I do hope you have a fantastic evening, day, I don't know, something in between. Twilight. Have a fantastic Twilight. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. Until next time, thank you for watching and goodbye. I wonder what we'll be doing next week. We'll find out soon. Goodbye for now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you once more for watching. Have a great weekend.